Hello everybody and welcome back to another NASCAR Heat 5 patch notes rundown for August 25th, where, as the name would suggest, the August 25th patch just came out a few hours ago. At least at the time that I'm recording this, it's already been available on PC. I've already been able to download it. You should also be able to download it now on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 or your platform of choice, so you can already go ahead and make use of these new additions. So going ahead and getting started, we are going to start down here with the additions because, just being honest, I'm pretty sure most of us look forward to the additions in these patch notes. Obviously, bug fixes are great, especially when we had the rim color glitch fixed. But for the most part, we're all looking for the new things being added to the game. So going ahead, the first thing they have here is the on and off toggle for DNFs in career and championship modes, which we all already kind of knew this really should have been in the game when it was first added, but it wasn't. So, better late than never. It is finally there. If you're somebody like me, fortunately, and I know I'm going to jinx myself one day, I have not experienced a DNF in my career mode, or in my championship mode, I should say, that I'm running here on the channel. But I know plenty of people have. I know plenty of people have felt that it is incredibly unfair, especially just given the fact that the physics aren't necessarily all that realistic. So sometimes people feel like they've been cheated out of a chance at actually winning a race, or just even completing it for that matter. So I'm sure plenty of people will be turning this off. I myself, I'm going to leave this on for the time being. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to jinx myself one day, and I'm just going to immediately DNF, and then I'm probably going to rage, turn this off, but at least now I have the option. Below that, we then have McLeod and Josh Bilicki being added to the NASCAR Cup Series, which I kind of misinterpreted this when I first read it the first time. Apparently, this does not mean that they're getting rid of Bobby Carter. So, he gets to keep his job, I guess, but they are just adding these two new actual drivers to the game, which is kind of cool. I mean, obviously both McLeod and Bilicki, neither of these drivers are actually running for points in the Cup Series, but they have made starts. So I would rather see them in the game than Bobby Carter. But if you've already started a championship or career mode, from what I know, or at least from my understanding is, if you've already started those, Bobby Carter will still be there, just because I don't think the game really handles suddenly kicking him out like mid-season or something and replacing him with one of these guys. But, at least if you're running a normal race, you can probably run into Josh or McLeod, one of these guys. And fun fact, Josh Bilicki actually follows my personal Instagram, which I basically never use. Don't know why he does, but I do appreciate it, so I kind of have a soft spot for him. So you know what? I'm going to be kind of happy to at least see him out there when I'm running at the Cup Series. He was already in the game in the Xfinity Series. He's actually been running pretty well this season in real life, so pretty happy for him. Glad to see him in here, and I'm never going to, discourage the game from adding new actual drivers to either of the series. Right below that, we then have Ryan Vargas and Robby Lyons being added to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I don't really have much experience with the Xfinity Series in this game, but like I just said before, I'm never going to discourage the developers from adding actual drivers to the series, even if they've only made a few starts or whatever, even if they run the whole season. Either way, go ahead and give the player the option. Maybe there's some Ryan Vargas fans or some Robby Lyons fans that would like to play as these drivers in these respective series. And like I said before, maybe now in the future, I'll go ahead and run a Josh Bilicki race in the Cup Series just because they've given me the option. And before I didn't have that, so I'm never going to say no to stuff like that. And then finally, right below that, as the final edition of this patch, we have 3 new custom paint schemes. So this is for your custom paint schemes. Obviously, this doesn't make up for the fact that there isn't a fully fledged paint booth or anything, but that ship was long sailed a long time ago. But from what I have seen, at least one of these custom schemes does look pretty decent. So at least now you'll have a better chance of actually making a paint scheme that you don't entirely hate when you're just trying to make something custom for either online or whatever other mode you choose to race. And if you are interested in seeing, what these cars are that are in the game from the, the new additions of drivers, I will be cutting to that at the end of the video, getting some in-game footage, just, going through the drivers list and seeing what their cars are. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and go through the bug fixes. This should be pretty quick. First thing they have done is they have updated the shadow performance improvements. So I'm pretty sure this is PC specific. So depending on what your settings were for shadows, you had some, big performance hits, which is, kind of not something you would expect because the game's not exactly all that graphically demanding. This is what happens when you run on Unity. Thank God they're getting rid of it next year, which, by the way, I'm going to make plenty of videos regarding, the change of what we should expect in the next future, NASCAR, not Heat 6 because they're going to call it something else, but in the future NASCAR games. So be sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing those in the future. Below that, we then have test schemes showing up in online. I haven't really interacted with online in this game, but I guess maybe there are test schemes showing up online. I don't know if that would actually be a bug. Maybe it's the other way around. Either way, I don't know. I guess they've gone ahead and fixed something. I don't know if there's anything to actually be fixed there, though. After that, we then have 2 things for scheme switching in the career mode and championship mode menu. So at least as far as I was aware, you couldn't actually do this in the, in the championship mode menu itself. I haven't really messed with the career mode a lot in this game, especially with like custom paint schemes or anything. But in the championship mode, if you wanted to change your custom paint scheme for like your custom driver, you had to go all the way out to the main menu of the game and then change it. I'm pretty sure this now means that inside the game itself, you can be able to change it without leaving the championship mode, which, pretty convenient. It's not like a big deal, but I am glad that they've at least made it a bit more convenient for the user. And then below that, incorrect Michigan event in the 2020 revised truck schedule. Not a big deal, but hey, at the very least, they've gone ahead and fixed it. I probably wouldn't have even noticed because at this point, all the schedules have just been, who knows? I would never be able to, tell you from front to back what the actual races were because I don't really remember at this point. But it is glad to see that they have gone ahead and fixed that. And then finally, the final bug fix of this patch is certain numbers not showing up in the race HUD. I have no idea what this actually refers to because I have not personally experienced this, at least from what I know. But hey, at least they've gone ahead and fixed it. And of course, now, like I said, I'm going to show you guys a quick rundown of the new cars that they have added. So of course, this is Josh Bilicki running the number 7 Chevrolet here. Honestly, pretty sleek looking car. My face is kind of blocking part of him. Hope you don't mind, Josh, but hey, how's it going? So let's go ahead and see what BG McLeod looks like. And this is BG McLeod's paint scheme. Nothing, crazy here. Primarily black paint scheme, kind of fitting for a car that, will generally run in the back, not being harsh or anything. That's just kind of the reality. Kind of would have been cool if they had added multiple paint schemes for some of these guys. Not that I actually know if they've really run more than one paint scheme so far this year. Probably asking a bit too much there, but who knows? Maybe in some of the future DLC packs for the paint schemes, they'll go ahead and add some more of that. And then moving on to the Xfinity series, we can see here Robby Lyons in the CSM Camaro. So there's a lot of number 15s in the Xfinity series in this game, I'm coming to realize. On top of that, Ryan Vargas also in the number 15. I don't know how the game actually handles these, but if you're a fan of any of these drivers, you can now race them. I'm pretty sure the game randomly chooses these when you do like a quick race, and then maybe when you do a championship mode or a career mode, whenever you start a season or something like that, it'll choose one, and then it'll be consistent throughout the entire year. So like I said, for especially in the Cup Series, if you've already started a season or a career mode, I don't know if Bobby Carter will be replaced by either of the new guys in the Cup Series, but I could be wrong about that. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you for today's Patch Notes Rundown. If you have enjoyed, if you found this useful in any way, please consider subscribing. It would really help me out a lot. I do make videos like this from time to time whenever a new big patch comes out. I also have some regular NASCAR Heat 5 content coming out on a regular basis if you're interested in that. But either way, please feel free to also leave a comment down below with what your favorite part is about this patch or what you thought was particularly missing. Obviously, I think the big one is the Indy road course. Still not added to the game. Same with the Daytona road course, although I can kind of forgive them a bit more on that because that was kind of, last moment. And don't quote me on this, but at least from what I've heard, both of those should be coming out in a DLC pack in September. I'm hoping it's free. I would assume it'd be free because, Indy road course should have already been part of the game. But, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they do get added, and when they do, I'll have another video up for those, just showing, the tracks, some gameplay, and yeah. So like I said before, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.